So you set up a political party, which I wouldn't even know how to do. From scratch, you named it Bolton to Change because all you're interested in is the area you live in, called Bolton in Greater Manchester. How did you do that, and why did you do that?
Well, I actually stood in local council in the elections, and I kind of was on my own doing it, and I did pretty well. Somebody asked me to stand. I only joined a party to stand. I'd only been in there a couple of weeks, put my name forward as a candidate, and as soon as it was finished, I got involved with the Brexit Party, so I left that little setup. And then I thought, well, the Brexit Party wasn't doing anything at the beginning. There wasn't into local elections, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to start my own little party. And I thought it can only be like a business, and I started my own building business in 1984, which is a long time back. So I just thought, well, it's like a business, but it doesn't make any money. So I thought it can't be hard. So
I've run a couple of businesses just like that made no money.
Well, it's true. It doesn't make no money. It cost me money at the beginning. But what happened is I just looked around Bolton. I'll be honest, I was approached by the Conservatives, had a meeting with the leader at the time, the late David Greenhouse, and a lovely fella, but I decided it just wasn't for me. I'm no Conservative, and I'm certainly not Labour. So I just thought, well, I am the party that is me, and that's Bolton for Change. So I just thought, I need a colour. Orange is the best colour by far. It's not been taken with your dirty mustard with Liberal and your reds with your Labour and your blue with your Conservatives. Got a colour. For our biggest, most famous building we've got is probably our town hall. So I got that little thing grew up. And then the name, and I came up with the name, and a mate of mine actually come up with the For Change bit. He was helping me at the beginning, but he's got a lot of business issues, so he kind of called it a day right at the beginning. So I was on my own for a while before another chap, Noel Harris, joined in with me. Because you can't do everything on your own. It is hard work, a lot harder than I thought, I'll be honest. And there's many a time it gets you down when things are not going to plan, and you're laying out money and you're going out in all weathers and try to get things sorted, and it does get depressing. But you just got to stick at it. And I tell people who come on board, don't expect things overnight, because it doesn't work like that. It's not like a business. You'll set off, you'll get a good job and make a load of money. You won't.
Tell me about Bolton for Change. So who are Bolton for Change, and why are they different? And why should the people of Bolton vote for Bolton for Change?
Well, we wanted a party what wasn't... I mean, all these Labours and your Conservative councillors, really, they're just lip service, aren't they, for somebody above them. And they say, listen, we don't do that. All Greater Manchester towns do this. We do that. You can't say that. You can't say this. I mean, they turn up for work. They sit in there. They collect a wage. I think they collect about £11,600 in Bolton. And you can't do anything. They've no clout whatsoever. All they do is the leader says, this is what's happening, and we need your vote. Really, they're just there to make up the numbers.
It's always about towing the party line.
Exactly. That's what it is. That's what they've got to do. They've got to do what they told them. So nothing ever changes, because they've not, even your leader of the council's not got much clout. He thinks he has, and the people think he has, but they don't. They're told what to do. And I didn't want that. And I thought, well, I'd run a business, successful business. So I thought, I don't know anybody in that, without flying my own kite, I don't know anybody in that council who'd be as good as me. I might as well tell you. That's the way I look at it. So I thought, I'm not in it for me. I'm not interested in me. I'm in it for Bolton. I was born in Bolton. I've lived here all my life. I've seen changes, massive changes, and it needs people who've got an idea how to sort things out, and improve things. And we just haven't got that. We've got people who are there for the South. The career politicians. They're not interested in Bolton. They might pretend they are, but they're not. Most of them are there for the South.
And I completely agree. I think that's the problem we have throughout the country. You hit the nail on the head when you said career politicians. It's people who are always saying to themselves, what can I do so I'm elected again in 3 years, 4 years' time? I'm not worried about 10 years, 20 years from now. I just want to get elected again. So what can I do? Where someone like me and someone like you is saying to ourselves, what can I do to improve this area? And if I don't get it voted in, that means that people don't want it. But I'm not going to water down what I'm going to do just to get your vote, because if I get in, I'm going to improve everything. If you like it or not, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, and that upsets a lot of people, because I usually say that a lot of people who know me personally know I set things as I don't mess about. I just set things what I feel, whether they like it or not, and that goes against you sometimes, because you'll find most councillors will not want to rock the apple cart. They'll not go on certain subjects because it'll lose them a certain amount of the votes. They'll not get involved in, there's a dispute. They'll not get involved because some people are for that, some people are on one side of that dispute, some people are on another. But I've always made decisions, and I'll make decisions whether it helps me or not. And I probably know I've done myself a bit of damage with saying what I've said. But I look at it from kind of a sensible business, common sense point of view. And that's the way forward. We need to change Bolton. And if you can't change it by being in there, the only thing you can do is start a party and hope people get behind the party, and let's see what we can do.